This is what happens when you go to Houston, Texas. They have tasers on every flipping corner.
So I recently put up a poll asking people who they were most interested in seeing next. It appears that Daniel Larson won the hearts of my audience. It shouldn't be surprising considering the fact that Daniel has consistently gotten himself into controversy and resembles the traits necessary to be called a lolcow. However, in my very little exposure to Daniel, I've begun to question whether or not the trolls are to blame for the majority of these outbursts. I typically scrutinize lolcows on the basis that they should know better. However, I honestly feel like Daniel is one of the more obvious examples of mental decay. This doesn't excuse all incidents, but I think we're witnessing the formation of another Chris Chan. Chris Chan would not have done a lot of the decisions he's done if not for the constant beratement and endorsement from the trolls. There's a tightrope you gotta balance on, but taking advantage of mentally disabled people to do your bidding results in the creation of someone like Daniel. Today we are going to explore some of Daniel's most recent streams. Without further ado, I present to you Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Already deleted it when I came in here. I'm not gonna leave. You guys can call the police. Because when I came in here on the bus, I was going to do the bus transfer. Okay, man, so then I'm leaving here at 12. I'm not going to leave because I'm going to be leaving on the bus.
Sir, you have to leave. You don't have a ticket, sir.
So Daniel is currently on this nationwide tour. I guess I should have explained Daniel a little more before beginning. He essentially has lived an unordinary life up to this point. He has consistently moved between different places and has experienced homelessness several times. He has never worked and has been propped up by former accomplices whom he beat up and then fans who set up a PayPal for him. This information could all be out of date, but I think that gives you a baseline for where he is. Daniel is the definition of eternally online and I believe has some sort of psychosis or schizophrenia. Fans have tried to convince him to seek therapy, but anytime that gets brought up, he loses his mind and freaks out on the caretakers. So we've reached this point where he is essentially jumping on bus rides across the country. I guess to experience homelessness in other cities? I'm not certain because trying to understand the mind of Daniel Larson is like watching 1,000 fireworks go off at once. I forgot to mention that he is constantly getting thrown out of places, which is what is happening right now. He steals tickets and meals and whatever, and always gets in altercations with the patrons. He comes off as the villain, but as we will soon see, I believe his mind is molded by the trolls.
You called it off this morning on yourself.
I did not. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did,
I
sir.
called the police because somebody was threatening to kill me. So I had to protect myself.
Well, you don't have a ticket, so you don't have to leave the building, sir.
But I said that I was going to go get the bus ticket and I was going to leave here at 12.
Sir.
So they found out that he is trying to sneak onto a Greyhound trip to New Orleans. He also constantly threatens to call the police and potentially even call them. It would not be beyond his ability to call the police himself. It also doesn't help that his fans are legit lunatics that will dox the business he is always in. This is what I was talking about when I said that he has to have some sort of psychosis. He is constantly flickering his eyes all around the room and cannot focus on one item for an extended period of time. He is obsessed with looking at his phone. and he is constantly trying to see if he's streaming or recording what is going on. Outside of mental issues, I can't understand his obsession with TikTok. He uses it incessantly, which I think is related to the fact that he thinks documenting these events grants him immunity. His whole aura is just really disturbing to witness.
I'm not going to argue. This is the only main street in town. It's not leaving yet. It's leaving at 3.
You said 12. So what light is it?
Okay, so it leaves here at 12 and it gets to New Orleans at 3. But I'm not playing these games.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. I've already explained to you.
He doesn't have a physical ticket and is trying his all to convince anyone to take his side. I'm not really sure that's going to work out for you, buddy.
Alright, so I'm now canceling going to New Orleans for my safety. I'm canceling New Orleans. I just looked at the prices for straight from Houston to Orlando, and it would cost me $600.
So he gets banned from his trip and I guess is begging fans to help him out. I can't be positive because I don't see him ask for money very often. This is sort of why I think this isn't an act. When locals get big, you start to hear them beg for money on a consistent basis. The ones that don't, you can assume that there's something wrong with them. I'm not saying that money is the be-all end-all, but these guys usually try to capitalize on their success. Not Daniel. He lives in his own little fairy tale imagination land.
Celebrity. I recently gained popularity to where I'm noticeable in public. People have been doxing me everywhere I go for the past 24 hours. I'm riding Greyhound later this afternoon. I'm in town for the day and then I'm leaving. I'm on a business trip. And that's why phone calls are ringing everywhere I'm going. It's not just this place, it's everywhere in the entire area.
I get it. So we received a message from the owner itself that there was threats and you were threatening people. So unfortunately, we can't have that here in this establishment.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to ask you to leave, okay?
Okay.
I'm very impressed with how this social worker negotiates with Daniel. Apparently some threat got called into the building he was in and he was the provided suspect. Like usual, Daniel takes the victim role and tries to use his fame as an excuse. Well, I guess that might be the case since his fans are the ones who are constantly trolling him and harassing the establishments he is at. I don't know. It's hard for me to get a clear read on the whole situation. The worker also tricked Daniel into allowing him to take a photo. I'm pretty sure this photo is going to be posted for all these bus stations to not allow Daniel into it anymore. It's like the episode of The Office where Michael steals from the Chinese food restaurant and has to take a perp photo.
Okay, I am in contact with the Houston Police Department and Sheriff's Office, and I'm also in contact with the World Protection Group / agency, and I'm in contact with Tina Vanderwall. I'm putting together evidence, and I will be suing and pressing charges on anyone that is impersonating and doxing locations, giving threats, or anything. It's not okay to be doing so, and it is harassment. We have notified the local police department, and we are at this point putting together evidence. Okay, I'm not gonna play that game. Hold on. No, that guy tried to hit me. Okay, that guy just tried to hit me. I'm gonna wait here for my safety. All right? Thank you. I'm not gonna get hit by people. All right? So I'm gonna wait here for my safety.
You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Thank you.
Charge your phone, okay? You need to charge your phone. Charge your phone.
So he is calling the police, gets kicked out of the restaurant, and then runs back inside because he had some sort of schizo episode. There is a 0% chance that some random person on the street was running up to punch him. And then when he slipped inside, they just gave up. I'm assuming that the random pedestrians on the street are not Skyrim NPCs that lose their focus on the main character when he navigates outside of their range. The worker, once again, is very kind to this man that is clearly just trying to take advantage of anyone. I guess I forgot to mention that he also has scabies. That's right, scabies. This man is a danger to society. He refuses to clean himself and had to be hospitalized recently to get a sponge bath to help soothe the pain. The mites under his skin can legitimately infect others. He is the epitome of the stereotype of a homeless person. I've got to note once again, I think he has been manipulated and has lacked nurturement throughout his life, which has led us to this point now. The next series of clips will show how the trolls try and manipulate Daniel.
It truly is.
Do you know how to defend yourself?
Yeah, I do, but I've already punched the security guard.
You already punched him?
Yeah, I did. Because he put hands on me. And I told him that I'm a celebrity and you're clearly putting me in danger by doing this. From what I can see is they want me to get out of here.
Yeah.
This is private. This is not public. You need to walk out right now.
Yes,
Right now.
the police are on their way.
Right, you wait for the police outside. Let's go.
I'm not going to do that. Because the police told me to wait here.
Get the fuck out.
I have you on
Get out.
film. I have
Get
you
out.
on film.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out.
Daniel, defend yourself.
Daniel, get back at him.
Defend yourself, Daniel.
So, there's a lot to unpack here. I believe he has groups of trolls that will give him advice, which is blatantly deceiving him into making socially unacceptable decisions. These people are probably like 16 or 17 years old and have no idea the ramifications of their actions. They lack morality and display extreme narcissistic behavior. Not to get on my old man soapbox, but I believe that a lot of people in our generation care more about what is going on in their phone than the realistic effects that they have on their life. They are giggling and telling Daniel to spit on and punch the store employee. Clearly, anyone with above a room temperature IQ would understand that retaliation will only lead Daniel into more trouble. These pathetic children are only interested in Daniel fulfilling their desires for entertainment. It's really gross. Daniel is extremely vulnerable and should be pitied, not resented. He has done plenty wrong, but with no one trying to guide him, he is bound to only be reformed by a psychiatric hospital at this point, and he just refuses to admit himself into one. It's honestly just a spiral into madness.
Spit on him, Daniel.
You're gonna get arrested. Hey.
I have you on film!
You're not.
Pull me to the ground.
Did you spit on him?
I had to hit him for protection.
Oh my god. Wait, show us. What happened?
Did you run away? Put your camera on. We have to
My
record
knee is
this.
bleeding.
Oh my god.
Daniel, put your camera on.
It's just really grotesque, and upsets me the more I watch. They demand him to turn on his camera so that they can relish in his stupidity. These children have no souls and no parents who have ever disciplined them. I think if you are going to pretend to be a defender of Daniel, You must oust these people and harass them for what they've done. Who cares if they are underage? They are convincing someone to basically send themselves to prison. I think they deserve a taste of their own medicine.
Alright. Dude, I was just in there and I bought something, so he might like tweak out.
Yeah, so it should be good.
Alright, bye.
I've asked you to leave. We're on the phone with the police. I've asked you to leave. No, I don't. No, I don't. I'm on the phone with my security. No, I'm not. Stop lying. Get out of here before I call the police.
Daniel.
I've asked you to leave.
Daniel.
I've asked you to leave. We're on the phone with the police.
Daniel.
I've asked you to
Come on,
leave.
Daniel. You know me.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. We're friends.
No, I don't. I'm on the phone with my security.
Are you smoking crack or tweak?
No, I'm not. Stop lying.
Well, could you believe that these scumbags actually went inside of the store and filmed what was going on? They legit went inside with 3 different cameras to get different angles of the altercation. I'm not doubting the fact that prior to this, Daniel was probably acting like a fool or trying to steal something. These kids clearly went here to try and agitate him. I just can't endorse behavior like this. Has Daniel ever threatened people without being provoked? Probably. I'm not certain. I don't know every instance in his history. Feel free to disagree with my take. Maybe I've been fooled and Daniel is a normal functioning person. If so, then I retract all my claims. But from what I have seen, he is not like Cyrax. He's not like Blade. He doesn't know what he's doing.
So, this is what I look like after I got assaulted by 2 fans in New York City in 2023. Fortunately, I don't have any fractures that I know of. I did have a fairly good sized cut on my nose, but that's about it.
So, sure enough, Daniel gets beaten up by somebody that he got into an altercation with. He's leeching off of the system in order to go to the hospital. It's just a decline for everybody involved. This is my initial assessment of Daniel. I've seen some of his freakouts, and honestly it makes me feel bad for him, not necessarily mad at him. He has no guidance and no one to direct him. It just makes me feel sad. And with that, we've reached the end. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.